mouse, you can use the scroll wheel. The scroll wheel on your mouse will help you to zoom in and zoom out. That's zoom real time. Now, before we continue, we need to do something about this icon that is obstructing my drawing. And the command that will do that is just a UCS icon. Type UCS icon and press enter. When you press enter, there are many options. It's either you turn it on by typing ON, or off by typing OFF, or A or N or 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 selectable or properties. The option that I need is no origin, that is, don't follow origin about. So if I type N and press enter, the UCS icon will be permanently placed on the left hand side here. But let me do it again. UCS icon and press enter. Remember that in the previous one I did, I select N. Now let me type OR now. Now in some instances, the first two letters may be needed by AutoCAD to recognize the command. For origin, it's accepting OR. If I type enter, I type OR and I press enter. You see the UCS icon has come again to obstruct my drawing. Okay, now let's start UCS icon again. This time around I want to type OFF, that is off. If you type OFF, you won't see it again, but I will not recommend that because it gave us the sense of direction of X and Y. So in order to bring it back, I will type UCS icon, then I type on, enter, so it comes back. But the option I need, if I press enter again, in AutoCAD, if you do a command, if you press enter, AutoCAD will remember the last command and bring it on. So you don't need to type UCS icon, just press enter. The command will come up. You can see it coming up now. But this time around I need N, no origin, so that the icon will stay on this left hand side. So let me zoom my rectangle. So let's continue with the drawing. So the next thing I want to do is I want to draw these circle. We'll be experimenting with rectangle. Let's draw this circle. The radius of the circle is 7.5, and the origin, the center is an absolute point, 70,60. So don't forget the radius is 7.5, the origin is 70,60. So you just you type C in the command window. C is for circle, or you come to Home tab, under Draw menu, you click on circle. Now in the manual drawing, when you are drawing a circle, the first thing you locate is the center. So AutoCAD is asking you, it says circle, specify the center for circle. But there are many options here. We have 2P, 3P, and so on. So I just type the radius. That is, I just type the coordinate of the center. That is 70,60. Press enter. So you can see where the circle is located. So automatically AutoCAD pinpoint my coordinate around here. So my coordinate is around there. Okay, that's 70,60. Then what is AutoCAD waiting for? Look at the command window. It says specify the radius of the circle. I did not click anything, so it's waiting for me to give it radius or diameter. So if I type 7.5, which is the radius, and press enter, it's going to draw that circle. Now let me delete this circle and do it again. If I type C, enter, the center point is 70,60, enter. AutoCAD locate the center point. But this time around, I don't want to use radius. AutoCAD will remember the last radius you enter in angular bracket. If I press enter, that means I'm accepting 7.5. But if I type letter D and press enter, that means I'm using diameter instead of radius. You can see the command has changed to specify diameter of circle, and it's changing to 15. It's just double the radius. If I press enter, so it's going to give me the same thing. So that is about circle. Then about the other ones. So let's draw this absolute this rectangle using absolute coordinate. So we have the first point here as 10,20, next point as 10,40, 30,20, 30,20. I don't think. Okay, this is 30. Okay, this should be okay. Here, if this is 10,40, okay, I think there's a mistake here. This should be 30,40, and this should be 30,20. They can't be the same. Please try to correct that. This should be 30,40 on top there. I'm sorry for that. So let's go back. Oh no, I'm launching an AutoCAD. Okay, don't matter. So let's start line command L. First point. This first point is 10,20 there. 10,20. Enter. So AutoCAD is located that point. The second point is 10,40. That's absolute. 40. Enter. The next point is 30,40. I mean 30,40. Enter. Like I told you, it can be 30,20. Let's close that. It can be here. It cannot be. It can be 30,20. It's 30,40. That's 30,40. Okay, the next point will be 30,20 now. 30,20. The next point will go back to the beginning, which is a 10. There are three ways to do this. Either you type the coordinate or you type C. This C here, you type close and press enter. Is going to do. You use object snap to click here. So let's just say 10,20. Press enter. So that is done. So that is absolute coordinate. Now let's try the relative coordinate. In case of the relative coordinate, the length of this line is 20 by 20. Now it gave us one absolute point, which is 45,20. But every other point is relative. Once you know the length and the breadth, just be saying at and be increasing it along X or along Y axis. So if you understand that, let's go back. So I'm going to start another line command L, press enter. The coordinate is 45,20. Enter. Now, since I know the length, I will say at 0,20 because I want to move along Y axis. That's why I make X 0, I make Y 20. Enter. Then I will say at again. This time around it will be 20,0. I'm increasing X, leaving Y at 0. Enter. Then I will say again at this time around is going to be Y decreasing, moving in negative direction down. So I will say at 0, minus 20. So that is negative direction of Y. Enter. Then you can close that. Enter. Then lastly, we are going to work with a polar coordinate. In case of polar coordinate, we have an absolute point 80,20 here. Then the length of each of these line is 10, as you can see here. So for this one is for the line here is at 10,45. This one is at 10,135. This one is at 10,225. So this one we do now. Go back to AutoCAD. Start line command. Give the absolute point, which is at 80,20. 80,20. Okay. Then that be the case, we are going to say at 10,45 at we are going to say at the next point to be at 10 angle 45. Enter. Oh, something is happening. There is entering outside the, it's going outside the rectangle. Okay, let's ignore that for now and focus on the polar coordinate. So at 10, you can see the direction of the angle. Then the other one that goes up, like this, that will be at 10,135. Since they are of the same length, 10, but the angle of this line is 135. So in order to do that, I will say at 10 angle 135. Look at my command window, the way I type it. Press enter. Then going back again, the other one is at 10 angle 225. Say at 10 angle 225. Enter. Then you can close. So that is a polar coordinate. So that is demonstration of those methods of entering points in AutoCAD. Now, as a kind of assignment, I'll give you this assignment to do, to draw these objects using the absolute, polar, and relative coordinate system. So now in the next class, we are going to look at some other things. So we are going to look at how to use drafting certain tools properly. But I'm going to join that lesson with drawing and modify command. So we're going to look at all these drawing tools and modify tools in details. So I want to thank you for listening.